What's up, JB Navy? And today is going to be my first story time. My story time is about how I became alright, because I don't really know how you guys are going to take this, but a stripper. Hey.
I'm sorry if I seem uninterested, or I'm not listening, or I'm indifferent. Truly, I ain't got no business here, but since my friends are here, I just came to kick it, but really I would rather be.
So let's start off with this. This video is for people who are 18 and older, for a mature audience. So if you are not 18, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to exit this video. Story time today with Jazzmen Black. Okay, JB Navy, listen. When I was 18, I had got my first apartment. Me and my mom had gotten into this really big fight, and I basically was like, I'm leaving. I have to get my own place. I can't do this. I've always been a very independent, go-getter type of girl anyway. So I moved out and I got my first apartment, and I was working at Little Caesars, and it was inside of Kmart, and I was living in Fort Wayne, Indiana at that time. And I decided that I wanted to be grown. I decided that I wanted to live on my own and pay my own bills and do my own thing. Well, one day my little cousin came into Little Caesars, and I put a whole bunch of free toppings on top of her pizza. Like, I'm talking about, our toppings was 99 cents a piece, so I gave her about a good $10 free worth of toppings. And there was a camera over top of my workstation, and my boss saw it, and he called me in the office, and he fired me for pizza toppings. Yeah. So he fired me, and I had just got this brand new apartment. I only paid 1 month of rent. Like, you forget all about the other 12 months that you gotta pay. So when I got home, I was like, dang, like, I got 3 weeks to pay my rent. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna survive this? So one of my girlfriends, she was a Mexican girl, very beautiful girl. And she was a really good friend of mine. I used to hang out with this girl every single day. And she was like, how about you come down to my job and audition? I said, your job? When did you get a job? Because I didn't know she had a job. She's like, yeah, come down and audition. I was like, audition? What kind of job is this? You mean interview? She's like, nah, come audition. I was like, okay. Come to find out, it was a strip club. And I was like, girl, you've been dancing this whole time and I didn't know. I did not know she was a dancer. So I went down and I auditioned, and I got hired. And I have never left. I have not left since then. That was 2008. And y'all have to remember, around that time, it was not the best idea to tell everybody you was a dancer. Around that time, it wasn't really popular. Actually, people slut shamed us for being dancers. And I got that word from Amber Rose, slut shaming. Look it up. So they slut shamed us for being dancers. Well, I'm going to tell you. Slut shaming is when you are putting down another woman for being who she is and doing things that she likes to do, or doing things that you consider slutty, like dancing, wearing inappropriate, well, what society would consider inappropriate clothing, things like that. So they used to, you know, talk crazy about us for being dancers. So you didn't tell everybody. So I think that's kind of why my friend didn't tell me that she was a dancer. So I auditioned, I got hired, and that's when the chaos erupted, like full-blown chaos. You know, I knew that when people found out, I was going to have a little bit of issues, but I didn't know it was going to go the way that it went. I had friends come in there. I had guy friends come in there. And now I honestly understand Players Club and what Diamond went through. When the guy was like, yeah, Diamond, I see you in here trying to pay for that school, girl. Heard you work down at that little club down there. Like, I really understand that, because that's exactly what similarly happened to me. Like, my guy friends would come down there and touch me inappropriately, say inappropriate things to me that I've never heard them say before. You know, people were saying very mean things about me around the city, calling me a whore, calling me nasty. I went through a lot of internet bullying. I went through a lot of personal bullying. People used to come in the club and make me feel so uncomfortable at work, to the point it was sometimes hard for me to make money because I couldn't really ignore them. Let me tell y'all how my father found out I was dancing. And this had to be like the epic point. Like, where I was like, I can't dance in this city no more. I gotta go. This was my boiling point. I couldn't do it no more. One day, my aunt comes in and she's drunk. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm just having a good time. What are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm working. Please don't tell anybody, nobody, that you saw me here. She's like, okay, I won't. Literally 5 minutes later, my dad and half of my family, my uncles, all men, walk in. I did not know they walked in though. Like, the club is built in a circle. I'm walking around this side, my father is walking around this side, and like a movie, I bumped into his chest and I looked up and I was like, oh shit. He was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Go get your clothes, go get your shit. What the fuck are you doing here? And I can hear him as I'm like running away from him. I can hear everything. What the fuck? I hear all of that as I'm running away from him. So I run into the locker room. Like, my dad is trying to kill me. Like, I didn't say that, but that's how I ran into the dressing room. I ran to the dressing room and I found the nearest person that I could find, and that was the house mom. Term house mom is the woman who keeps the locker room in check. She gives us our baby wipes, our hygiene products, lotion, oil, hair, brushes, flat iron, whatever you need. Most likely the house mom has it. Good house moms have it. And they make sure there's no fights or arguing or anything like that. They basically just keep the locker room intact. So I run into her and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, my dad is here. And she's like, well, what is he saying? What do you need us to do? Do you need us to put him out? And I'm like, no, don't put him out. Well, yeah, put him out. Like, how do I go about this? She was like, are you 18? I said, yeah. She was like, do you live on your own? Do you pay your own bills? I said, yeah. She was like, well, there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do, and we can put him out right now. And I was kind of like, nah, I'll just leave. He can stay, I'll leave. But I think they put him out. I don't really remember. I think they put him out because of like all the yelling and screaming he was doing. I think they put him out. But in the midst of that, after I got done talking to her, I ran to the phone because I knew he was gonna call my mom when he got in the car. And I hadn't talked to my mom really like that since our fight and me moving out. So I called her and I was like, Mom, I gotta tell you, listen, before dad can get to you, let me tell you, I have been dancing, I have been stripping. That's how I've been able to afford to live on my own. I was just going a mile a minute. She was like, wait, slow down. You're stripping, your dad is there. What is going on? What are you talking about? I was like, Mom, I've been dancing. That's what I've been doing, and dad just busted me. So if he calls you, this is why. I just want to tell you before he tells you. She was like, okay, you know what? We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Let me call your dad and calm him down. I said, okay. Hung up the phone. I talked to my mom. She didn't really approve of it at first, but I think in her heart, she felt like, you know, I think I raised you to be a pretty decent person. So I think that you're going to handle this, but be careful. Like, that was her thing. Like, just be a lady and be careful. And that's exactly what I did. I kind of built like a mini career off of dancing. I've done modeling, I've done a couple magazine spreads, you know, I've met some of everybody. I don't think there's anybody that you can name that I probably have not met. It's a fun environment because I get to be around people that most people have to pay tickets to be around. They pay me to be around them. You know what I mean? So that was a little bit of a fun part. And that's what we're going to get into now, is the pros of dancing. The pros and cons. So the pros of dancing is, of course, the money. One of the top pros is the money. Another pro is, yeah, you're allowed to be around really dope people, some of everybody. Like I said, you're around people that people don't get to be around on a daily basis, and sometimes we're around them on a nightly basis. You know what I'm saying? We're around them all the time. And sometimes you even build friendships and relationships with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? This can go pretty far. Another pro is that you don't have a schedule. You can do what you want. You can do as you please. No one's there to tell you what to do. Well, we do have rules. Through the years, the rules have changed a lot. They have changed a lot. So there are some places that do some mini scheduling, like make you do one slow day, which would be like a Monday or a Tuesday. You know, you have some minor rules compared to a corporate job or a regular job. Another pro is you get to dress up, you get to be pretty. I can honestly say that dancing has molded me into the person that I am today. I did not know a lot about hair. I didn't really get into makeup. I wasn't really a trendy person until I started dancing and being in an environment that adapted those things. Like, one of the clubs I worked at was Onyx in Philadelphia, and that was the first club to really introduce me into getting my makeup done on a constant basis. We had MAC makeup artists that we had to go to every single night, and we had to pay them to do our makeup. We had to look our absolute best. And then my first club in Philly, which was I don't know if anybody's familiar with this, but it was called Set It Off, and I had a boss named Marv, and he was so strict, but I really get it. Like, he was like, y'all gotta have y'all nails done, y'all gotta have y'all matching bra and panties set. Literally used to check our bra and panties every night and our nails to make sure we didn't have no broken nails, or else he charged us a $20 fee every single night. And even though it was irritating then, it has become a part of, like, it becomes a part of who you are now. Like, now you adapt these fundamental things that he taught us. You know, matching nails, no broken nails, match your bra and panty set, and your makeup on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it does teach you some things, especially for girls who probably don't have that in their lives, like someone who can guide them how to be a lady. It does teaches you some of that, especially even hygiene. It teaches you to keep your hygiene up good. So those are some pros of dancing. The cons are that it is a dangerous environment. Girls have been killed. Girls have died from overdoses, drugs. Girls have been raped. Girls have been robbed. Girls have been humiliated on the internet. Girls have been bullied. Girls are in fights. It can be a very nasty environment. If you do not tame yourself, defend yourself, and stick to yourself, it can be a very nasty environment. And I've learned this over my, I would say, 9 years of dancing, from 18 to, I'm 25 now. So about 9 years of dancing, I've learned this. Another con can be mental. This can have a mental strain on you. Okay, I'm about to get personal. One thing that bothers me now is I'm not very sexually intense. Like, okay, if my man wants to get it on, I'm not always in the mood because I'm always in this sexual environment. So sometimes when he comes on to me, it puts my mind back into work. Like, all the guys are like that. So sometimes it can be a turn off. Another turn off that I have is this. When somebody like tries to do this to my nipples, I will kill you. I will literally kill you if you take your fingers and do this to my nipples. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And that probably used to be a turn on, you know, before, you know, dancing for this amount of time, but now it's just aggravating. Like, my man can't even do that because I get so aggravated. Those are some two personal things on my behalf, and there's more. Some girls go through more trauma and mental things than that. You know, another kind is the environment. The environment is a miserable, negative, nasty environment. It's very seldom that you will come across a club with happy, beautiful, and girls that are just getting money together and excited and not fighting and not being catty. I don't think that exists at all. Can y'all comment below a club where that exists? My dancer associates or whoever out there that may know a little bit about the stripper community, if you know some very positive clubs with some good communities and they get money, comment below. I have some bad kids running in my hallway right now. But yeah, it can be a nasty environment. It's like high school. Literally, it's like high school. It's like a girls' high. It's lockers. It's a locker room. You can order food. You can order drinks. And there's cliques. There's girls who click up. You got the mean girls. You got the okay girls. You got the girls that make all the money. You got girls that make no money. You know what I'm saying? You always have this. Me, I'm more of a loner. But the popular girls always seem to adapt to me and talk to me and like kind of, you know, try to befriend me and make me a part of their crew. But I'm nothing like them. My personality wise, I'm nothing like them. You know what I'm saying? I can't hang around that type of energy. I don't like to put people down. I don't like to talk about people. I'm not a bully. You know, I went through bullying in high school and that's not fun. I promise I would never put nobody through what I went through in high school and middle school. So, you know, it's a lot of cons and it's a lot of pros, but I thank God for the experience. I have been able to be my own boss. I have taken my money and invested into now my online store. I'm doing YouTube, and I've invested into other projects too. I had other businesses before this. And also, I never always depended on dancing. I always had other jobs. Like, I just started only dancing now because I have my online store and I do YouTube now. But before, I was a home health aide. I've worked at retail jobs. I've always I went to school. I've always done a job or did something else and not just fully relied on dancing. Please, if anybody takes anything from this video and you do decide that you want to be a dancer, my best advice to you would be, don't get caught up. Do not get caught up. Don't get caught up in the drugs. Don't get caught up in the money. And what I mean by don't get caught up in the money, don't get so indulged in the money to where you start accepting money for everything. You start taking money for sex. You start taking money to do odd things that is out of your comfort zone. Please, that's what I mean by that. Also, don't let this environment change you. If you are a good girl and you are a sweet girl, stay that way. Don't come into this environment and then become this big mean girl and this big nasty girl and this big overly big-headed, too confident of a person. It's okay to be confident. It's okay to be a bad bitch. But let me tell you, when you start treating others as if you're better than them or as if they're beneath you, that's when you have to cross the line. See, I carry myself like a bad bitch. I carry myself like a good person, but I would never treat somebody like they're beneath me. The way I treat myself is because I love myself and I know my self-worth. Not because other people are not like me and I'm on top and they're down here. That's not why. I carry myself high because I love myself and I believe in myself and I know my potential. Another thing, do not allow this world to affect your real world, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your spouse. Leave work at work, and when you get home, put a smile on your face and let that environment stay where it's at. When you're home, you're home. And that's what I do. And how I do that, I read, I meditate, and I always say to myself that this is work. That's it. I do not carry it in my real life. And like, that's why I had to kind of like stop talking to, you know, like celebrity guys and things like that, because that lifestyle is so fake and so phony. It's just ridiculous. Like, I feel like in the strip world, every girl is waiting on a guy to come save them. Like, they're looking, like they think that there's these guys out there that's just going to bring them $1 million and say, baby, you coming with me. Now, although that does happen sometimes, like girls do get picked up, but don't make that like your life thing. Don't make that like everybody's just sitting in line like, oh, waiting on my guy, I'm next. Like, no, don't do that. Like, live real life. Date regular guys. Talk to regular guys. Like, have a real life. Stop depending on this imaginary life, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to wait from age 18 all the way to 30 waiting for this man in a cape to come save you with $1 million that's going to buy you all the Louis Vuittons you want, and it's not going to happen. And then at 30 you're going to be looking for the things you should have already been doing at 20. Like, go on regular dates, live regular life. Don't forget to be normal. That is what it all boils down to. Do not forget that you're a normal human being. Don't forget to be normal. And that's, I guess that's what, like, anything entertainment wise, even if you like some Instagram model, or even if you're some rapper, or even if you're a real model, like, don't forget to be normal, because at the end of the day, we are all one and we are all the same. We are all the same. We're all humans. We're all here for a purpose, and we need to serve our purpose, and we need to stop getting distracted by the fantasy world, which is the popping bottles and the throwing money, and it's fake. It's fake. That was my story on the adult entertainment business. If there's anything that I left out, or if you want me to do a part 2 of this video, comment below. Do not forget to give me a thumbs up and become a part of the JB Navy if you're not already, because I have plenty of story times for you. Until next time, you guys, I'm out. one of my dance shoes. Tell me if you can walk in these, okay? You spend, how many hours we be in there? Like 6 hours in these. And you gonna tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel later. Are you willing to wear this? Just this. Because if not, this might not be for you.